Hi, my name is Katie, uh, or you might know me by my URL on Tumblr, Touch Me Before I Go Insane, or you might just know me from whatever. Uh, this week is Invisible Illness Week, along with Suicide Prevention Week, or day. I wasn't, that wasn't clarified. Um, Although I will say right now that I did support that. I wrote love on my wrist. But I wanted to take a little bit of time to just talk. Talk about things. I mean, this isn't gonna be a video of, oh, I love things and whatnot, but I really don't want it to be a big rant about illnesses and diseases and how people don't know, so they're ignorant and all of these other things. I really don't want that to be the outcome of this video, because that's not what I'm trying to get across. What I hope to happen with this video is I hope that through my explanation of a couple diseases or illnesses and explanations of how to help and just a couple other things, that someone somewhere will benefit from it, whether even if it's one person. If one person watches this video and by the time that it's over and I'm done talking and ranting and rambling on and on because I talk a lot, if that one person can sit back and reflect on what they've heard me say, and they're either more informed about something, or they are inspired to help, or they're uh, willing to learn more and anything else, I have done my job. I hope very dearly that this video will be informative and at least a little bit funny. And for the most part upbeat, but above all else, I want to make a difference. And that's why I'm sitting here in front of my laptop today. Sorry for the room change. Hopefully I didn't confuse you. There was a little too much glare for my liking in the other room. First off, I'm gonna begin this. Oh, I'm getting all serious for that. I'm gonna begin this process or whatever by talking about multiple personality disorder. One of my followers that I follow as well brought this to my attention yesterday, and I thought that it would be a great idea to talk about it. So here we go. The definition of multiple personality disorder is as follows. Multiple personality disorder, or MPD, is a mental disturbance classified as one of the dislocative disorders in the 4th edition of the Diagnostic and Statistical Manual of Mental Disorders. It has been renamed dissociative identity disorder. Multiple personality disorder is defined as a condition in which two or more distinct identities or personal states alternate in controlling the patient's consciousness and behavior. Split personality is not a term that is accepted by anyone for this disorder. I could make a whole video about this specific disorder, even though I'm not even nearly as knowledgeable as some of the people that I know about this. But what I will say about this is that it is often linked with manic depressive disorder, and which I will go over in a minute or so whenever I finish this. But what needs to be said about this is that the people struggling with multiple personality disorder, they cannot help it. It's not something that you cannot just be put on a drug or change your lifestyle in some way and your brain is going to start functioning normally. It just doesn't, you don't work like that. The body is a fantastic thing. It's beautiful and it's powerful, but it's not willing to change sometimes. It's stubborn and it's yeah. So if you know someone that has multiple personality disorder, I don't know about most people, but I don't like when jokes are made. So don't go making jokes about, like, oh, which personality are you today? Or, like, anything else that you think is funny or clever, because it hits home and it hurts. It isn't funny to us. And I guess the only other thing that I could say about this is that it's not their fault. They didn't choose to have this disorder. They didn't choose to have to alternate between personalities and not even know it when it happens. I feel like most people, or at least a majority of people, realize that it's hard, but they don't understand how hard it is. So what I need you guys to do with people with multiple personality disorder is just listen. Just be there. I can't speak for people that have it. I don't know what they look for in someone who they don't, in a friend, in a partner, in a family member for help and guidance. But if I could say to do anything, ask them what they want. Ask them what to do. If they're having a really bad day, where they're just everywhere, you need to know what they want. If they just want to be left alone, you leave them alone. If they need you to go do something for them, be more than willing. Let them know that you're there, whatever personality they have, whatever mood they're in, you're there. Because I know that you know how it feels when you're upset and you're sad and everyone else is ignoring you because you're on a mood kick and they're like, I can't handle this. She's PMSing, she's on her period, he's throwing a fit, whatever else. So just kind of put yourself in their shoes. Don't just assume that you know. Ask. And lastly on this, for people that do have multiple personality disorder, you need to be very vocal. You are the one with the disease. People can't read your mind. They're not going to be like, oh, they're having an off day. I need to do this for them, and I need to do that for them, and I need to help them out with this. No. We're not psychic. If you want your friends and people close to you to help you out with this and succeed in living with this disability, disorder, whatever you want to call it, you need to be vocal and tell them what you want. Or else nothing's going to happen and you're just going to be miserable. So, that's all I have to say about this one. My next topic is manic depressive disorder. Most people will know this disease by bipolar. A little information or background about it for those of you who don't know. Bipolar is a disorder that is a serious brain disease that causes extreme shifts in mood, energy, and functioning. It affects approximately 2.3 million adult Americans, about 1.2% of the population. 2 men and women are equally as likely to develop this disabling illness. What most people, at least in my personal experiences, they hear about bipolar and they make jokes. And they talk about, oh, well, they were happy as a clam 2 seconds ago, and now they just want to rip the whole world apart. That may very well be the case, but that's not a joking matter to anyone ever. The way that, and it's totally different from depression. Depression is kind of self-explanatory in some ways. You're sad, you're sometimes moody, you have all this other stuff going on, but bipolar is when it is draining. It is so bad that you can't function sometimes. Most people are on medication because of their bipolar, because they can't work in a stable social environment. They can't operate emotionally. They cry because the stress just gets so overwhelming. And I have a tremendous amount of respect for people that have bipolar. Not that I don't have respect for anyone else that has an invisible illness, but I've seen what this illness does to people close to me, and it breaks my heart. For those of you who know people that have bipolar, it's kind of like multiple personality disorder. You need to recognize that they're gonna get moody. That's just how things work. They're gonna get emotional. They might have days or extended periods of time where they want to be alone. They don't want to interact. They need to be in their own space. So when you meet someone and you get close enough to them that you can talk to them about their illness, you need to say to them, look, you're important to me and I really want to help you. So if you're ever feeling down or anything, please don't hesitate to come talk to me. But right now, is there anything that you would like me to know that I can do to help you out with this? That kind of affection and empathy it'll mean the world, because love is a really important part of life, and even if it's from a friend, it is very, very substantial to health. That was badly worded. For those that do have bipolar, people are gonna make jokes. Teenagers are gonna make jokes. That's what they do. I mean, hello. That you either are a teenager or you were a teenager. You know how we operate. It's not. I'm not trying to vouch for the assholes that do make fun of it, but I strongly encourage you, when you hear people making fun of bipolar, to go up to them and say, look, that's not funny. It may be relevant to the joke you're trying to make because you're trying to be a big shot in front of your friends, but it's not a joke. Not even a little bit. You don't know what I'm going through. You don't have to get this personal, but you can say that they don't know what it's like. They don't know what it's like to have their brain just fuck them totally and make living awful and hard and having to work at it every single day, all day. It's hard. So surround yourself with people that aren't going to cause drama, that you know are going to be there for the long haul because they love you, and if at all possible, do your best, because I can't speak for the other gazillion people on the earth, and yes, I realize that I just used that. I can't speak for them, but I believe in you. I really do. I know that it gets hard, and I know that some days you just, you don't even want to do anything and bother and whatever else. I won't even go down a more upsetting route. But I know that that's a real possibility, but you are strong, and yeah. The third illness I'm gonna talk to you guys about is PTSD, or post-traumatic stress disorder. I'd like to preface this one by saying that this is take 2, and last time I tried to say war heroes or something, and I ended up saying warriors like 6 times, like the freaking Mulan or some shit, and it just amused me. Okay, so PTSD. Post-traumatic stress disorder is a severe anxiety disorder that can develop after exposure to any event that results in psychological trauma. This event may involve the threat of death to oneself or to someone else, or onto one's own or someone else's physical, sexual, or psychological integrity, overwhelming the individual's ability to cope. Basically what that means is that someone has had a very, very traumatic experience, whether it be witnessing a death or just having a death in the family, or most people recognize this when they talk about soldiers coming back from war. But I personally don't think that people understand how bad this is. They're like, oh yeah, we just fought in a war and we're back and fuck yeah, America, or wherever you're from. That was a little country love there. But this illness, it goes really deep, because it's not only just mental, it's physical. The people that have this illness, I know of people that wake up in the nights with sweats and screaming, and then they can't fall asleep, or they just don't go the night because they know that they're gonna have nightmares and be woken up. And don't even get me started on the people and that joke about, oh, this person has PTSD. I'm gonna go up and freaking clap in their ear, make a gunshot near them. Like, I cannot stand that. Because, alright, you're afraid of spiders. I'm gonna shove a tarantula in your face. That's nice, right? That's basically what you're doing. Or you're afraid of sharks. And I'm gonna invite you... No, not even invite you. I'm gonna drag you to the middle of the ocean and let you off my boat. Get it now? I wish that more people were educated on this illness, because the severity is extreme, but not in all cases. Some cases are very mild. They just that was just sounds. That was a movie reference for all of you movie lovers out there. But when for the people that have PTSD, you need to make it very apparent to those that don't have it how severe this is for you, and how you really need them to be sensitive with you and understand that if you get afraid of something, or if you call them in the middle of the night because you had a nightmare, that's you asking for help, and they need to help you. For people that don't have it but want to help, yada yada, you need to watch what you do. You can't go up and just start yelling in their ears, or doing all sorts of fast, scary movements or whatever. You need to be conscious that their brain is now afraid of things because they had a traumatic experience. They can't just shut off their fear. It's not going to happen. This one wasn't as well said as the other ones. That's really awkward. But you guys get the point. Yeah. It's severe, and I think people underestimate what this entails. So, yeah. Sorry, I'm confusing you guys with my room changes. My laptop died and had to reshoot this one again. The first take was freaking 14 minutes of me talking. I have to do it again. My last topic of this video is one that is very near and dear to my heart, because I have it. It is known, not by many, but to those that have it, as a silent killer. And I really wish my laptop hadn't died last time, because I had said something really cool here. Diabetes. Most people know it because they're like, oh, they can't eat sugar, right? Well, no. That's kinda on the right track, but it's not. Sugar is very much a big part of it, but the way that I hear people talking about it, it's not true. Type 1 diabetes is the more severe case. Type 1 diabetes is when your pancreas, which I believe is located right about here, does not produce any insulin. Insulin is it regulates the carbs you take, the glucose you take, and the other sugars that you ingest into your body through the food that you eat. And when your pancreas doesn't work, you need either shots, or I personally use a pump. I use a one-touch ping. I have been using this for, I believe, 5 years this spring. I plan on continuing with it because it keeps A1Cs down. A1Cs are how well you regulate your blood sugars, how well you keep them in check. And yeah, some people still use pens and insulin, like needle. Yeah, they use insulin. They use needles, which is great too. Type 2 diabetes is very, 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 very often mistaken. It is misunderstood. I bet that I said type 2 diabetes, and you thought obesity. Understandable. I'm not gonna reprimand you or penalize you in any way for thinking that. I'm glad that you got that far. Quite honestly, well done. No sarcasm intended. But type 2 diabetes is when your body is still producing a little bit of insulin, but not enough to sustain you. Most people with type 2 do have to take some insulin sometimes. Others take diet pills, or I've seen cases where people take diet pills and insulin to regulate themselves because they are overweight, or just for whatever other reason. Insulin, and if you're squeamish, I guess I would cover your ears because this is a little icky. It's icky. Insulin that diabetics use, the insulin that I put in my pump, or the insulin that the kid you go to school with puts in their needle, comes from the pancreas of a pig. A scientist by the name of something that I cannot remember right now, even though I did a report on him in like 5th grade, found that the pig's organs are very much similar to a human's. So they take the insulin from theirs and they freeze it, they store it, they refrigerate it, whatever else, and they give it to us so that we, live. Some interesting statistics about this, which I will get into in a little bit, or in a few minutes, because I'm very proud of this statistic, and I'll tell you why. 90% of diabetics are type 2. 10%, within that 10%, that is type 1. 90% of that 10% has no family history on either side. Ever. What people have started to realize or theorize or notice, whatever, is that diabetes is somewhat regional, meaning that some places have a higher rate of contracting this than others, although it's not definite. Like, I live in Massachusetts, right next to the beach. Like, I could literally walk or bike to the beach. Not everyone in my town or my state is diabetic, clearly. But, it is regional, and that happens. The reason that I'm so proud of those statistics is because I am part of that 90% inside the 10%. And I think that's really cool. Like, I'll brag about that. Like, hey guys, I'm in a freaking slim pickings category of awesomeness. But not all. To sum up this 8-minute long introduction to the diabetic portion of this. None of diabetics are fat or lazy or whatever else that you think that we are. I am 5'9" tall. I weigh 125 pounds. And I've had diabetes for 14 and a half years. I'll be 16 in a couple months. And given the circumstances, I think I've done well for myself. But now to finish this off with a more viewer conducive message. Diabetics. Woo! We're fucking awesome. You need to be vocal. I don't give a flying fuck how shy you are. If you're with someone and you feel low, tell them. Do not sit. Sorry for the pause. I don't know if you can see this, but it just got like Jesus light in here. Yeah. Anyway, don't just sit there and get lower and lower until you can barely move and they finally realize that you're not alright. That's not cool. Trust me, I've been in that situation. I used to be an awkward little derp. I'd get low and I wouldn't say anything, and I'd be like, hey, I'm just gonna kind of pass out a little bit. No. That's not a good way to go about it. If you're high, do not be afraid to stop someone and be like, look, I'm high. I need to sit down, get me some water, and frickin' help me with my insulin if that's what you need. I know for a fact that your doctors tell you that you're not alone. That you're not alone and that people should be helping you with this. And they're absolutely right. As much as I freaking hate it, they're right. You're not alone. There are people to help you. Although the whole thing about you shouldn't be doing this on your own is utter bullshit, because well, I can kind of handle my body pretty well. Like 98% of the time. I think I can do this. Yeah. I did this one backwards. Awkward. For people that aren't diabetic, you need to be our friends. We need you more than anything to realize if we're doing that, going to the bathroom a bunch, you need to realize that we're probably high and we need to test our blood and get some insulin. Even if we don't realize it. Because sometimes we don't. Not gonna lie. If you see us getting woozy or tipsy or slurring our words or other symptoms, we're low. You need to get us to food. Specifically like milk or yogurt or crackers or whatever else it is that you want to give them. You need to watch out for us, because we are strong. Not gonna say we're freaking superheroes, but we're much stronger than most people. Trust me. But we do need help. We need help. We need you. There's no way that we're gonna get through this and be healthy and live long and keep all of our limbs and our eyesight and all of this without the help of you. So just kind of stick around long enough to get to know us, and then when you do get to know us, and you know what we're like when we're high and low, work with us. Because we love you, and we do anything for you because we know how much you care about us. I did this one backwards because I said that at the beginning, and now I'm gonna... Stereotypes. Or jokes about diabetes. I like to think I'm a pretty fun person. Hopefully you guys will agree. But one of the things that just doesn't sit well with me is diabetic jokes. I'm not gonna, like, pounce on you if you make one, but, like, the stuff where it says John bought, like, 180 candy bars and ate 90 of them, how many does he have now? Diabetes, John has diabetes. I don't appreciate it. Or, like, McDiabetes. Like, that shit, it... Personally, if you say that kind of stuff to me, I'll probably be polite enough to be like, okay. That's funny. But if you continue it, I'm gonna sit there and be like, look, that's not funny. It's not even relevant to me, so you need to stop saying that. Some people aren't as closed about it as I am. But, sorry. That's just how things work. And this is the longest section, and it's almost 15 minutes, and I really hope I covered everything, because I don't want to have to say this again. So yeah. This is my last little segment, and I'm gonna make it through this, even though I'm, like, dead, and thirsty. My back hurts and sitting up straight for so long. After all that is said, and I realize that I'm not perfect, I'm not a genius, I'm not a doctor, I'm not an expert on anything, not even diabetes. But hopefully I explained it in a way that for those of you that do have some of the diseases or illnesses that I talked about, I got a decent point across, and I didn't just ramble and spend like an hour of my Tuesday wasting my time. I believe strongly that, well, like I said in the beginning of the video, if I can reach one person with this video, then it's completely worth it. I believe strongly that if no one else is gonna fight for us, fight for the people with invisible illnesses, fight for those who are resentful or are proud or whatever else, we're not gonna get anywhere. Nothing is gonna advance. No one is gonna be educated enough about this kind of stuff, and I really hope that through this video I connected with you guys on at least a little bit of a personal level, because I want to make a difference. I'm not gonna go, touring the world, telling people about how not to treat people or how to help people or anything else, because that's not what I was made to do. I'm not a motivational speaker. I'm a sophomore in high school who is a really, really, really big band nerd, and who frickin' writes and watches movies and plays softball and swims and bikes and shit in her free time. I'm not unlike any of you. And this is just a teenager's perspective on all of this stuff. But what I will end the video with is a note to people who are struggling with their invisible illnesses or any other illnesses or anything in general, because I know for a fact no one says it enough. You ready? You ready for this nugget of golden wisdom? All right. Stay with me. Ready? You watching this video, you're fucking beautiful. You are so much stronger than you give yourself credit for. You have no idea. You may not be able to see it, but everyone else around you can. You are motivated and you are intelligent and you're beyond amazing. And you may be sitting there like, yeah, she's fucking cliche and wasting her breath by saying that because I don't even know you. But I don't need to know you to know how unbelievably perfect you are. You're perfect. And if nothing else, or if no one else ever tells you that, let me tell you that you are just amazing. And I hope that you like this. Enjoy the rest of your day, because I want you to. You spent enough time watching my video, you can do something for me. You can watch and then go enjoy. I love you. I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you. Keep being awesome.